Hi, I'm Dan Hauk.
And I'm Chris Watako, and welcome to week 12 of Intentional Relationships. This is our last week.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to be discussing the next step after intentional dating, engagement. So how do you know if you're ready to get engaged? What does it look like? How long should you be engaged? And what if you find out that you're not ready? Dan, what are you doing?
I'm looking at a picture of Teresa and I when we got engaged.
Oh, that is so sweet. What is that expression on your face? Were you crying?
I wasn't crying, it was allergies.
Yeah. Well, the engagement period can be the most special time in your life. It's a time when you get to know your fiance even more, make decisions about your upcoming wedding, and where you're going to live. But it can also be a very stressful time if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Often when we get engaged, you spend so much time planning the wedding that you forget about the relationship.
Yeah, Chris, you were engaged a few times, weren't you?
Just two, Dan. Well, I share about both of my experiences in this chapter. The one thing both of my engagements had in common is that I didn't know either one of my fiancés before I started to date them. And if I had, I would have never dated them, much less got engaged. I used my dating time to build a friendship. I used my engagement time to build a romantic relationship. All of this was backwards. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't involve my friends or my family with either of them because I knew what was best for me in my life. Now, on my second engagement, we did ask his pastor to counsel us. We were in and out of his office in 30 minutes. We made sure to tell him all the right answers to these questions, only affirming what we thought was the right decision. Well, if you have to manipulate, if you have to talk folks into agreeing with you, hide things, then God is telling you that something is wrong. It's not the right time, or maybe it's not the right person. The most lonely people are those who are married and wish they weren't. So, Dan, what was your engagement like? Was it wonderful and sweet, or did you have some challenges?
Well, I need to say this out of the gate. Our engagement period was wonderful. And in our case, it only lasted 3 months, which is a short engagement. But of course, that time wasn't always smooth. I originally wanted to propose to Teresa in early April, but my son was getting married around that time. And so to be sure I didn't do anything that took away from his wedding, I proposed a month later. Now, some of my kids who all love Teresa were not 100% agreement with my decision. Now, there's so much emotion in an engagement when you have existing kids. Ron Deal wrote a great book called The Smart Step Family, and in it he says that engagement for a parent is exciting, but for the child, it can sometimes feel like a second death, the divorce being the first one. So when it comes to marriage, you change from a me to a we. It takes some getting used to. Decision making for you may have been so easy and quick before, but now it impacts somebody else. I'd gotten used to saying yes to events or making plans or commitments for people in ministry, and I continue to do that even after our engagement. You know, I would tell Teresa something I was going to do, and she would inform me that that's got a schedule conflict, or she had some input that completely changed my decision. Genesis 2:24 says this, "That's why a man leaves his father and mother, and they become one flesh." During the engagement process, you move from individual decisions to planning as a team, to working as a team, and yes, even dreaming as a team. So, if you've made it to the engagement process in your relationship, congratulations.
Yay!
And if you're thinking about getting engaged, you're dating, ask yourself these questions. What is God saying to me right now? And do you have others involved in your life that can speak into your decision? Have you gone to some counseling? It's a great idea. Are you willing to slow down if God tells you to? These are all important questions during the dating and engagement time.
And if you're like me, not dating anyone, there is hope.
Yes.
Hope in the Lord. You know, I've come to a place in my singleness that I'm okay with being single, Dan. You know, yes, there are days I might have to call a friend because I'm at the Walmart checkout line with 5 gallons of ice cream begging for some intervention. But there are also days that I love my singleness. I love that I get to do what I want, go where I want, buy what I want to buy. I love that I have many friends, male and female. And I love that I have the most amazing community and there's always something to do. But I especially love how God has used me in ministry, solely devoted to Him without the many distractions that marriage might have. Do I still pray for a husband one day? By all means. But if Jesus is my only husband in this lifetime, He's enough. He's my first and perfect intentional relationship.
That's so good, Chris. So one final thought. You're going to be tempted to say, "Phew, I made it through," and you close the book and you're done. But actually, this is where the work really begins. Thank you for bringing us into your lives every week. We've really enjoyed being on the journey with you, and you can find out more information by going to our website, intentionalrelationshipsolutions.org. And hey, we would love to come to your church and do a conference, a workshop, or a retreat, and you can find out more about that on our website as well. Till we see you again.
Bye.